Hello everyone, welcome to my shop. My name is Val. This is a quick picture of my machine shop. Seen many of them on YouTube, so I thought I would go ahead and make my own video today. Today, for a project, we're going to take this titanium bolt and we're going to cut it down in my Cadillac lathe, and we will make a nice wedding band out of it. So we will go ahead and I'll chuck it up in the lathe and we'll take you back to there. I'll chuck it up here in my 3-jaw chuck, and we'll go ahead and try and take these flats off this bolt. Titanium's a little bit harder and stringier to cut, so you got to go kind of slow. So there we go. A little bit of chatter there. I probably should have took a little bit smaller cut, but we'll go ahead and go with that for now, and probably take a little smaller one on the next go. We're at 160 RPM right now. Go ahead and take just 10,000 cut. Actually, we'll go 20,000 cut this time and see how that does. Now let's go ahead and take a little more. We'll go ahead and run up to about 50 thousandths. Not getting a real good chip there. This titanium's a little bit different to cut, so you may have to use a different insert. As you can see, we've got the flats cut off of that bolt, so I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of that down to the same diameter as the actual bolt itself, and I will bring you guys back when I do that. Okay, you can see we've got quite a bit of the head off. I'll bring you in to take one more pass on this, and we're getting close now to being able to pull that, get it down even, and then go down and cut the threads off it. I would go faster RPM, but it just burns it up, and if you've ever started a fire cutting this titanium, it's not very fun, because it'll start on fire and you'll have a pretty good fire going down in your chip box. Okay, you can see that we've got the head cut off of this bolt. So we're going to go ahead and pull it out. Imagine it's a little bit warm on that end. We'll go ahead and pull it out and we're going to rechuck it. As you can see, it doesn't have a head anymore. We're going to go ahead and rechuck it down on this end. We'll go ahead and remove those threads so we have a nice piece of round stock that's all titanium that doesn't look like a bolt anymore. I think my carbide's probably getting a little bit dull after that last cut. It's pretty hard on them, so I'll probably need to slow it down or change the carbide on this next cut. Yeah, I think our carbide's getting a little dull. This titanium's pretty hard on cut tools. You can see that we're getting those threads cut off, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there for a minute. I'll go ahead and finish cutting the rest of those threads off. I don't want to bore everybody to death with the same cut, but go ahead and get those cut off and I'll bring you back. Okay, I'm going to bring you back here. We've almost got those threads off, so we're going to go ahead and finish that up. We're getting really close to having us a nice piece of round stock. We'll go ahead and reverse that. We'll start over. Okay, that's probably about as far as I'm going to take that down. But we got a nice shiny piece of titanium there. Now we'll go ahead and flip it around and shine up the other side, and I'll bring you back. That's what happens when you go a little too fast with titanium. I'm going to have to slow that way down, or I'm going to have me a nice fire going here if I'm not careful. Okay. I'm going to have to slow down my speed for sure. As you can see, that threw off some pretty good sparks. You'll have that with titanium. I'm going to go ahead and just take one more really light cut. And just to clean that up a little bit. Now you can see that we have a nice piece of round stock titanium. I'm going to go ahead and knock that edge off on the end there and chamfer it a little bit. Get that sharp edge off, and then we'll go ahead to the next step. Okay guys, now we're going to go ahead and drill it out. Center drill. Get the hole started. Okay. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and lengthen that, or make our center hole just a little bit deeper. I went ahead and cleaned up the outside diameter of that piece of round stock now that we have, so it's nice and square. I'm sure some of you saw a little bit of a wobble in it when I was drilling that pilot hole, so we'll go ahead and make this just a little deeper, so then we can bore it out. Say titanium's a little bit of a different animal to drill and machine, but you know, if you do it a little bit, you kind of get to know the characteristics of it, and you just kind of keep a nice cut going on your drill bit. It won't gall up on you, so we'll go ahead and do that and give it a little oil once in a while. Should get the job done for us. I know that center hole's wobbling just a little bit, but we'll go ahead and we'll take care of that on our, when we run a boring bar down it and clean it right up. Just using high-speed steel drill bit on this. Some guys say you can't cut titanium with it, but I've never really had a problem with it. I use my older drill bits to cut titanium because it does kind of wear them out fast and dulls them pretty quick, so I keep my good ones for other things, and Go ahead and use the older ones for cutting titanium. Had this Cadillac lathe for about 17 years. It's been a pretty good old lathe. I bought it on eBay back in 2003. And I went down to Los Angeles from where I live in Elko, Nevada, and hauled it home. '85 model. And it seems to be very well built and haven't had much trouble with it at all. Just a few little things I've had to do some maintenance on and keep it up. I don't have three-phase power in my shop, so I go ahead and run it on a phase converter that seems to work just fine. I'm running the Bison 3-jaw chuck. Seems to work very well for me. I also have a couple of 4-jaw chucks for this thing, and had really good luck with the old lathe, so hope it lasts a long time. I can usually make, I don't know, 5 rings or so out of one of these bolts, so just depending how much material I waste, but usually I get about 5 rings out of one of these titanium bolts. Actually had the opportunity to make a few of these for my kids that got married, and my son-in-laws and my son. So that's been kind of fun to do. Go ahead and just go a little bit further, then we'll go ahead and go up in size and enlarge this hole a little bit. Okay guys, what I'm going to do now is I actually have a 2-flute end mill, a 5/8 end mill in my chuck here, in my drill chuck. And I like to use these cheap Chinese end mills to cut my titanium with. It seems to work pretty good, and you know, once I wear them out, they really don't cost a whole lot, and they work well for this process. So we'll go ahead and enlarge this hole now. Go ahead and adjust this tailstock up a little bit. Okay, here we go. See, this titanium is a little stringy to cut. You don't make real good chips with it, but you know, this gets the job done and seems to work out okay. Go and give it a little bit more cutting oil. Make some more smoke in the shop. Okay, I'm going to let that cool off a little bit, then I'll bring you back and we'll finish it up. Okay guys, I went ahead and switched to a different end mill here. That one I had in there earlier is getting pretty dull. I've used it quite a few times for this process. I went ahead and stuck a used 4-flute end mill in here, so we'll go ahead and finish cutting with that. Much better. That other one was getting pretty dull. Some of those chips out of there. Yeah, it's getting a little bit discolored from the heat, but you know, once we're done doing the cutting, it'll shine right back up and just look beautiful. So we'll go ahead and finish that up. Okay, we're going to go ahead and call that good as far as boring that out. And looks like it's pretty hot. It is fairly hot, but a lot of that's the oil smoking. So we'll go ahead when we're ready to make our final cuts. That thing will shine right up. So okay, guys, what we're going to do now is I moved it up to a 3/4 inch diameter end mill. I can't tell you enough how much I like using these old end mills for cutting this titanium, just because, like I say again, they're Chinese ones, they're cheap. They cut through it, and I'm not ruining my good stuff or my good drill bits. So with that, we'll go ahead and enlarge it just a little bit. Okay guys, what we're going to do now is go ahead and bore the remainder out of this with the small boring bar. So we'll get the diameter we want, which I'll go over here in just a minute. So I'll go ahead and take a couple passes. Kind of slow going here, guys, doing this part of it. I like going nice and slow so I don't get any of those hot sparks coming off this titanium, because they're pretty famous for that. So I'm going to be taking a few more passes, and then I'll bring you back for the next step. So what we're going to do on this pass also is just go in far enough to make one ring, because if I take them all this, take the whole thing out the same diameter, if somebody else wants a different size, then I've got everything, made the same size. So we'll go ahead and stop it here pretty quick once I get the length I want for the very first ring, which is getting pretty close. We'll probably call it good right there. Go ahead and set my DRO so next time I know where I'm at. And we'll go ahead and take a measurement here. We need to end up at 0.830 for our overall. And right now we are at 0.890, so we need to take out about 40 more thousandths, so we're getting pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and take that out to about 40 thousandths, then I'll bring you back. Okay guys, we've got this finished out on the bore at 0.825, right where I wanted to be. I know I said it was 0.83 before, but I decided to go 0.825. That's actually a ring size 11.5, so we're right there at 0.825. And so the inside is bored to size. Now we will go ahead and take the outside down a little bit more to the thickness we want for this particular ring we're making. And I'll bring you back for that.